Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Really excited to introduce you to our newest product, the Single SKU Home Hub. So before we get started and before we do some introductions, I just wanted to let you know that really we're here to answer your questions first and foremost. We're going to do a quick presentation to give you the details of this product, but please prioritize putting your questions in that questions box. We're watching it this whole time. And we're going to make sure that we prioritize answering those questions at the end with a Q&A session. So Meghna, I'm so excited that you're here with me. Are you ready to jump in?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on here, Michelle.
Yeah, so just quick introductions for both of us. I'm Michelle. I'm the Director of Residential Marketing here at SolarEdge. Have been here for over almost 6 years now, in the solar industry for 14 years, so an old dog over here. Meghna, you want to do a quick intro?
Yeah. Hey, everyone. My name is Meghna Chowdhury. I'm a Senior Product and Technical Marketing Manager here at SolarEdge for North America region. I manage our residential products, inverters, and optimizers, and excited to be here with Michelle and talk to you about our new solution.
Great. So really, let's just get started on what is single SKU. I think we're most excited about this because here at SolarEdge, we know that we are not known for little SKUs. We have a big list of products and SKUs typically because of our versatility in the industry. And really what single SKU is one inverter to solve it all. And it is a home hub inverter that that same form function that you're using today with the home hub inverter, but you're only using one box. It is one box that's going to be configured to any inverter size you need. So those inverter sizes that can be configurable are 3.8, 5.7, 7.6, 9.6, 10, and 11.4. All of these form functions are going to have a 12.5 continuous power capability. And I think that one of the questions, obviously the main question we're getting is, well, how do you configure the correct nameplate rating? This is all through commissioning. Is it through setup? No, it is through SolarEdge Go. So if you have not yet downloaded SolarEdge Go, that is the app you need to use moving forward for all of your commissioning throughout the SolarEdge suite of residential products. A couple of quick things here to note. This inverter is Wi-Fi enabled. You can get a cell kit purchased separately if you need. It's going to have that same production and consumption meter built into it, that 12-year warranty. And of course, you're still going to be able to attach those 3 batteries per inverter. So what's really changing? It's going to be that 11.4 box that can be configured down to any size that you need. So let's get into some additional details on this. I like to think of it as 3 steps for that installer. A really important note here is that there are going to be stickers within each inverter box. Those stickers are going to be what tells the inspector, AHJ, what have you, what proper nameplate that inverter is. And so you have to put the proper sticker onto that inverter. Our recommendation is to do that before you even install the box. Get that sticker on before you put it on the wall. You install that home hub as usual, and then you're going to commission the inverter through SolarEdge Go. One of the steps you're going to use within that is configuring that correct nameplate rating, and we like to say locking in that nameplate rating. It locks the nameplate after you configure it as such. So what are the benefits? I think that everybody on this call understands what this means for you. For installation and distribution, inventory management, forecasting, service, and O&M are going to be simplified now. The forecasting is going to be simple because you're only thinking about one box. Think about when you're going out to site for servicing, you won't have to figure out and deal with, what size am I going to have to bring out to the site? It's going to be the same box every time. Frankly, you could even leave some on your truck if you wanted. And it's going to decrease the pricing on the largest sized systems. So one question we will get is going to be, what is the pricing for this system? And we really, really focused on blended pricing to average out to be really no different than what you're paying now in terms of optimizers and inverter pricing for all of your system sizes in the fleet. For sales, this means less change orders. So for salespeople, selecting the proper inverter within their tool, their design tool, has always been a challenge. We've always trained salespeople on, well, what inverter size do I need? In this scenario, it's going to make that easier because they're really only selecting one inverter. And then simplified conversations with homeowners as well. There's only one inverter to select. So there's only one inverter you need. There's no difference between home hubs or our previous home waves. There's only one solution. So what is SolarEdge Go? I mentioned earlier that you actually have to use SolarEdge Go to commission the new single SKU architecture, and that's absolutely accurate. But for existing systems, if you're still installing existing sites and existing products, you can actually use SolarEdge Go right now, and I highly recommend getting used to it. So this is going to be the new app that replaces Setup. So you won't have to use Setup at all anymore. This is a enhanced functionality that gives you additional visibility, more streamlined installations and commissioning. And there's going to be additional features that are added on as we go with these further updates. So highly recommend starting to use this today, even if you don't have single SKU in your fleet, because utilizing this and getting used to it's really important. It's what's going to be replacing the setup solution. So if you need to download this, here are some quick QR codes that you can use to download that. And I'm going to actually turn this over to Meghna now to go through some additional product details.
Thanks, Michelle. That sounds like an amazing introduction to our single SKU. So, hey everyone, I'm going to talk about the details of on the product side of things. So let's get started. So, Home Hub single SKU transition. What does this transition really mean? So, as you see here, we have our Home Hub inverters, and on the left-hand side, what we've done up until now is we've had various different distinctive SKUs or part numbers that have represented each of the nameplates or the power classes or the models of the inverter. For example, this first one here, USC 3800H, is a part number which is very specific to a 3800 watt model. The USC 11400H here is specific to the 11.4 kilowatt model. So now with the single SKU transition in Home Hub, all of these part numbers are going to be supported by one single SKU, which is the one shown here in green. And so it is USC 11400H-USS KBE Z8. And the last two, Z8, is a good way to distinguish this part number and identify that this is a single SKU part number. And this single SKU supports all of the inverter models, all of the power classes that we support today, and we continue to support that with this single part number. And this not only includes our active models from 3.8 all the way to 11.4, but also some of our legacy models, the 3,000, 5,000, and 6,000 watts for RMA purposes. So all of these models are supported by one single part number, and therefore, as Michelle mentioned earlier, makes our logistics operations so much simple with dealing with this one single part number as opposed to 6 different part numbers that we've supported up until now. And of course, as Michelle mentioned, we are transitioning to the commissioning app from SetApp to SolarEdge Go. A few takeaways. So if you don't remember anything else from this presentation, this is what I want you to take away. So yes, our part number has changed to the one ending in Z8 now, and it's one single part number for our Home Hub inverter. The installer now must set the inverter power class or the inverter model at the time of commissioning. So if they want to change from 11.4 to 5.7. That is going to happen in the field at the time of commissioning via SolarEdge Go application. Another thing that has changed is the inverter label. So now that we have the single SKU, every inverter that we build at the factory and ship from the factory will come with a default 11.4 model, the SE11400H-US that you see here. So when you open the inverter box and see the label on the inverter, that's the model you will see. And anything that an installer wants to transition from 11.4 to a 3.8 or a 5.7 will happen during commissioning. And that also means that you will need to apply that appropriate label sticker for that power class that you choose on the inverter. Okay. And that is if you're changing that power from 11.4 kilowatt. Again, new application, SolarEdge Go. If you haven't installed it already, go for it. Michelle mentioned that it's a great opportunity to use it on the existing fleet as well and start getting familiar with it. Another thing that I want to note and for you to take away is there's nothing else that we've changed with the product. Our product certification, our product listings, everything, the specifications that have all stayed the same. The only change is that we've made the logistic shift from various different part numbers to a single part number now. So this is what the single SKU inverter label looks like now. So as you see, this is kind of divided into two parts, the top section here and the bottom section. And each of those sections have their QR codes. So let me cover the top section first. So the top part and the QR code that you see here, it is unique per model. So in this case, when the inverter is out of the box, it shows this 11.4 kilowatt label, and this QR code is specific to 11.4. Okay, and all of these specifications that you see here in the top section are specific to 11.4. Similarly, any other stickers that you find in the inverter box for SE3800H, SE5700H will have their own unique QR codes on their label stickers that you will apply should you change the nameplate from 11.4 to any others. The bottom section also has a QR code which is unique per device. So this QR code holds the serial number of the inverter, and therefore it's unique per inverter. All the specifications that you see here, they're common to all of the power classes, all of the models that we support with this inverter. And of course, you can also find the serial number here at the bottom, which is hidden in this in this example. And this is as usual. Okay. Now, compared to the older labels, what you've been used to seeing up until this point, this is the example of an SE7600H-US. So this particular inverter, this serial number came from the factory set as a 7.6 kilowatt and therefore was shipped with this label. Now you open the inverter box and this is the label that you see with SE11400H-US at the top. And here's an example where an installer wanted to set this to a 7.6 kilowatt or an SE7600H, and therefore they took the sticker from the inverter box for a 7600H and placed it at the top section here, just at the top section, okay?
Before we move on, Magna, from the stickers, I think that we get a lot of questions about the stickers, and so I just want to be very clear and confirm with you that the stickers they will be receiving in the box. And going back to this last slide that you had that was so great is the top section versus bottom. The bottom section is what stays on the inverter, right? And that's what comes with the inverter. And this actual label that's set here is exactly how they will see it coming out of the box. The stickers that they are receiving in what I believe is a yellow envelope, is that right? In each box are the small ones that are on the top. And they're going to have in every single inverter box a a suite of stickers that go from 3.8 to 11.4, depending on what model they are wanting to make this inverter. And so let's say this installer, as you have here, decided it's a 7.6, and they're going to place that sticker that they received in the yellow envelope in the box to a 7.6, they still have all of those additional labels that are in the box that have the full suite of 3.8 to 11.4. And so the best practice that we are telling installers, as Meghna mentioned, this is unique to the actual inverter model, not the inverter serial number. So this means that you can use these stickers multi-site. And so best practice is keep those remaining stickers in your truck, in the office, wherever is safekeeping, because you might need some of those extra stickers for later on if, say, you lose some or you need a particular model size or power class that you don't have on site. And so it's very important, keep those stickers handy because they're not unique to the actual serial number. They're unique to the inverter model. I just wanted to reiterate that part.
Yeah, great point there, Michelle. We not only ship the inverters with the active models, 3.8 onwards to 11.4, but also the RMA models, like 3,000, 5,000, and 6,000. And definitely keep that, build your own stash for your any future use in case you have a damaged sticker or you've lost it. And of course, if needed, you can also order those stickers from support if needed. Okay, let's talk about model number versus the part number. So model numbers, all of the inverter nameplates or the power classes, we refer them to as model numbers as they are certified to these models. For example, SE3000H-US, SE3800H-US, these are all models. Again, I want to reiterate, we did not make any changes to our existing product certification or any listings that change these models in any way. So really, you do not see any change in specs. No changes needed in your single line diagrams from what you already do today. And if you are an installer and you are working on the design engineering side of things or permitting with the AHJs and the utilities, these model numbers are very relevant for you. The utility, the AHJ would want to see what is the model that you want to install on site. So as you do today, continue to include these in your single line diagrams. Part number. So part number is our one single part number that is relevant for the inverter. So if you are a distributor or if you're an installer who's working on the forecasting side, the ordering and procurement side, then part number becomes more relevant for you to manage with SolarEdge as a manufacturer and for you to manage your day-to-day logistical and operational services. So it makes things really, really simple. Now you have to deal with one single part number as opposed to 6 different ones that we've had up until now. So I wanted to show you the commissioning flow now, what it looks like in our new commissioning app, SolarEdge Go. Because the new nameplate is now set in the field, and that's a change for the installer. I really want to show you how simple this is in the app and how intuitive it is. So this is our new app, SolarEdge Go. Go ahead and install again. We'll keep saying that. This is the home page. So really you'll be on the installation button here. You click on install new system and immediately the app will open up your camera so you can scan the certification label on the inverter. Now, as I mentioned, the inverter out of the box has an 11.4 kilowatt label or SE11400H-US. In this case, the installer wanted to set it to a 5700H-US. So they already went into the inverter box, took out the envelope that has all the labels, and I'll show you some pictures in one of the slides later on what that envelope looks like and what those stickers look like. So they already peeled off that sticker and placed it on the top section of the existing certification label that the inverter came with out of the box. So this is a 5700H-US. So as you scan the 2 QR codes here with your app, the app has now identified that it has a 5700H-US sticker on it. SolarEdge Go now has the ability for the installer to create a new create a new site if you are installing at a new site. So you can click on create a new site, enter the details of the site, site address, name, homeowner email, peak power, and you can create a new site and proceed with commissioning. This is not a mandatory step. You can definitely create site later by clicking on this button if you desire to do this at a later stage. It's not mandatory, but should you want to create one, you have the ability to do that now. So if you choose to create a site, SolarEdge Go will proceed with creating a site and registering your inverter serial number to that site. And then it'll ask you to connect to the inverter Wi-Fi just as usual by flicking the P on-off button. And once it's connected to the inverter Wi-Fi, the very first thing that it asks you for is to select your power model. So you'll see a drop down or a list of all of these model power classes. So since we're doing a 5700H-US, I'll select this, continue, and the app will give you a message that hey, you're setting it to a 5700H-US and it cannot be changed once you confirm. Now, remember, I had the 5700H-US sticker in the beginning on the label. If I accidentally choose a different nameplate, let's say 7600 here, I will see an error message about the label and the nameplate selection mismatch. So the app really captures any mismatch error situations if the model sticker that you placed did not match what you're selecting here. It will catch it and it'll ask you to update your selection or change your sticker. Once you confirm, this model power class is set, it's logged in. This inverter is now a 5700 watt inverter. Why is it important for us to lock this right now is at this point is because this is not something that was happening in the field previously. The inverter was shipped as a 5.7 if that was the inverter you wanted on site. Now, because this is in the hands of installers, the utility requires that we keep it secure in a way that no one can down the line come back and change this nameplate that doesn't match the permit that they received. Okay, so know that once you confirm, hit the confirm button, it is locked. If you realize that you've made a mistake and you actually needed this to be set to a 7600, you will need to contact support, at which point support will reset this process for you, meaning you will be able to go to SolarEdge Go, come back to this part, change your sticker if needed, choose the right one, and then confirm again. So all that support does is reset it for you or unlock the selection for you to select the correct one later on if needed. Commissioning report. I want to touch on this a little bit. This is something that we support today via setup as well. But with single SKU, it becomes a little bit more relevant and important in that you can really use this report to validate what you've set in the field. And we've talked to a lot of utilities and AHJs, and we are spreading the message on the single SKU. And we do realize that there will be instances where utilities or AHJs may ask the installer that, hey, give us a proper document from the manufacturer that states what's set in the field. So after you've completed the commissioning process, you can generate this commissioning report via SolarEdge Go application. You have the option to text it to you, email it to yourself or an admin in the office for it to be submitted to utility or the AHJs if needed to validate what's the model in the field. So you can see installer details, site details, including homeowner name and address, and then inverter part number and inverter model here. And this is what you set in the field. This is the sticker that you apply in the field. This is the selection that you make in the SolarEdge Go application. All right, RMA. So as I mentioned earlier, we are shipping our inverter with all active models as well as our legacy models. And by the way, this is that yellow envelope that you will see in the inverter box that contains all the stickers for those models. So the pink package here contains all the active models, 3.8 all the way to 11.4. And the clear packaging has the legacy models, the 3000, 5000, and 6000 H-US. So it's easier to distinguish which one you need, which package you should pick for your site if you're doing an RMA or a new installation. And as Michelle mentioned, we highly recommend that you keep these safely for any future use should your label be damaged or you lost it. But of course, you have the option to order a set of labels from our SolarEdge support as well, in which case this envelope will be shipped to you directly if needed with all of these stickers in it, not just the one that you need. So yes, the same single SKU part number ending in C8 will support new installations as well as RMAs. And as you are already seeing that we are shipping our home hub, the non-single SKU home hub for replacement of our home hubs, excluding any LG battery installations, our legacy home wave or HD wave, and our legacy A series only on-grid applications. So all of those transitions will now move to single SKU home hub. So we will be shipping for RMAs for all of these replacements, our single SKU home hub part number. Now, I'm sure you're aware that all of those parts, the home hub, home wave, and our A series, they all have a different form factor. They all have different point of entrances for the conduits. So to simplify that situation in the field, we are introducing SolarEdge Fast Mount 14 for RMAs, for RMA purposes only. It's a new product that is already available on the price list that is shared by with the distributors and is available to order. So all that, so here in this picture, we have our home hub inverter at the top, and at the bottom, the piece that you see is the SFM14 along with this pipe fittings that you see connecting to the home hub inverter. So it really is a wire management interface that makes those legacy inverters that come in different form factors with different conduit entrances, it makes it compatible with the home hub. It allows conduit entrances on both sides at the bottom, and these pipe fittings that are detached from the SFM are lined up exactly where the bottom conduit entrances are for the home hub DCD here. So do check it out. I'll show you some examples on how this looks in the field. So in this example here, we have a home wave or an HD wave installation that was RMA'd with a home hub. So as you can see, we have our DC conduit coming on the left-hand side, the AC conduit coming on the right-hand side, and because home hub is only supporting bottom conduit entrances, what you do is you get an SFM14, place it in this location so you can really reuse these existing conduits as is, because it supports your side conduits, entrances, as well as the bottoms. And then you use those pipe fittings to attach to the home hub inverter at the top. So really helps with, easier rewiring, easier conduit management, keeping your existing conduit as is in this situation. Another example I have here is a before picture that shows our older A series inverter. And here's an after. Here too, like as you see, the DC conduit is on the left, AC at the bottom. And all the installer did here was replaced this portion with the SFM14 to reuse these conduits and have the pipe fittings attached to the home hub at top. And this is an inside view. everything that you see inside comes inbuilt with the SFM14. It comes with a pre-installed DIN rail with the DC and AC terminal blocks, the grounding bar, as you are familiar with in a home we've designed today. And with that, I'm going to pass it back to Michelle. Thank you, Michelle.
Great. Yeah, we went through a lot today, and the good news is we have a resource portal that has everything you need for single SKU. So this includes a data sheet, installation guides that you need, the app note that has the vote of confidence from Bill Brooks if you need that, training videos, and FAQs. And so I'm putting that in the chat right now so that you have that handy, but I'll also send it after the training along with this recording to make sure that you have it at a moment's notice. All right, so I think that the most important question is, what are the next steps for me as an installer? Number one, download SolarEdge Go and start using it today if you haven't done that yet. Remember that it is available and can be used with current products, but it is required and mandatory to commission single SKU inverters. So you have to have this downloaded before getting into the field. Please review the single SKU resource page that I put in the chat box. This has your training videos, installation guides, a couple of FAQs to make sure that you're ready to go with the single SKU solution in the field. Note that you might start receiving single SKU inverters effective today in your RMA channel. So you're going to see a mix of single SKU inverters and just current product in your RMAs. This is really to get your feet wet with this product before we completely transition and get you used to that product in the field. So your distributor does have a single SKU price list available, and this is ready to order today. So please contact your distributor partner to make sure you can place these orders. And all new inverters shipped after December 31st are going to be single SKU. So we are ready to go. We're excited to get this out into the field for you. And I want to make sure we answer your questions. So let's get into the Q&A and address those. I see some coming up in chat already. All right, everyone, ton of questions here. Thank you so much for putting them in. I also have Alex Den here, who is the Director of Technical Marketing. Alex, can we do a quick audio check?
I'm here, Michelle.
Great. Okay, so big question for you, and I saw this comment. So can you give a general cost of the SFM14?
Am I allowed to say?
General cost, yeah.
Generally speaking, this is a product that is intended to help you guys, and roughly speaking, the price should be about $60, something like that.
Yeah, great. So, I mean, I think we can say under $100.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Okay, keep on. There's so many questions. I'm going to sort through them here. All right, so great question on here. PCS busbar management still supported. That's a softball, but Alex, I'll just turn that over to you to expand on it.
Yeah, so for single SKU, we're not changing the hardware. We're not changing anything about the product certification. So all the PCS certifications that existed for this product before single SKU transfers over. There's nothing that changes in the product listing or anything like that.
Yes, so all features are the same. Okay. All right, here's a question. So can the inverter model be changed if I accidentally select the wrong model number in the app?
Yes, the short answer is yes. You can contact SolarEdge support, and they'll make you sign a few short forms that basically says, oopsies, I made a mistake, I acknowledge this. And what SolarEdge support will do is they will actually reset the inverter so that it's really allocated for no power class. And that way you can actually go back out and set it to whatever the correct power class is. But yes, we can definitely do that.
Great. Let's see. Is there a way to get the commissioning report remotely?
Yes. So if you are using SolarEdge Go, which you should be to commission this inverter, as long as you have a solid internet connection, you will be able to generate this report remotely.
Great. Okay, so I can handle this one. Will this product cover domestic content qualifications? Will it be fiat compliant? Yes, this inverter and our optimizers are both domestic content and fiat compliant. Also in 2026, all of these inverters as well are already on the TPO AVLs. So if you're getting into any discrepancies on that, please let us know. But that is right now we are on all the AVLs and we are fully compliant. Okay. Where can I see my updated production meter in the SolarEdge Go app?
Updated production meter. I'm not sure I understand the question.
Yeah, if you have a clarification on that, please just put it in the chat and we'll revisit. Let's see. Okay, here's a great question. Does the sticker change include above the dotted line or both above and below?
Oh, that's a great question. So it's only above the dotted line. The lower portion contains the ATM, and therefore that part will not change. You can't change that. You're not allowed to change that. So it's really only the upper portion.
Great. I think that as I'm reading some of these questions were definitely answered through the presentation, but these ones came in a little bit after. So thanks everyone for continuing to put them in. So what's the actual SKU for ordering when they ship? So this is that inverter SKU ending in Z8. And when I send over the email with the recording and the resource page, which by the way, I'll throw right into the chat right now. I'll also just include that SKU number again. But here is that resource page that I mentioned for everybody also. It should be in your chat as well. Let's see. Okay, great question here. When swapping inverters, where there are more than one inverters in RS485 daisy chain, and the new single SKU, is the new single SKU backwards compatible to set as followers, or do they have to be the leader?
Great question. You can treat this inverter as if it's any other inverter you've always used. It does not have to be the leader inverter, so it can certainly be the follower. Really, the best way to look at this is everything that you were doing before, you will continue doing. The only thing that changes is before you get there, you just have to decide what is the power class for this inverter. Is it a 7.6? Is it a 6,000? Is it an 11.4? Something like that. Nothing else changes after this.
Yeah, these are all really great questions. I think the thing to just remember is it's not a hardware change at all. It's really just this commissioning piece in SolarEdge Go that you're going to have to adjust, like Alex said, just changing that power class, figuring out which power class you want. So I'm glad that everyone's thinking through this. Let's see. Yeah, we're getting this question a lot, and that is about the RMA channel. And so I want to reiterate that through 2025, the majority of RMAs that you're going to be receiving are actually the multi-SKU inverters that you have had this whole time. So the ones that you're essentially getting right now, the home hubs with no LTE that we've been shipping since September for RMAs, those are going to be the ones that are defaulted into the RMA channel for the most part through 2025, and then everything will be transitioning to single SKU in the RMA channel beginning of the year. That said, as we mentioned, there will be somewhat of a mix of single SKU and multi-SKU for the next couple of months into your RMA channel. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just sifting through some of these ones here, making sure that we're getting everybody. Yeah, there's a couple of questions here too about can you use the stickers that are in the yellow envelope for multi-sites, for other sites? Absolutely, yes. Remember, the best practice is please hold on to those extra stickers from all of the boxes because they will come in handy. I mean, say, for example, even on an inverter site, maybe it gets torn or worn down or, it wears off. You'll have these extra ones that you'll be able to use. Or maybe you lost or forgot the envelope. You'll have these extra ones on the side or accidentally threw it away. So yeah, definitely make sure that you you keep those on site. Yeah, so great question here too about like Aurora and what this looks like in those systems. So in terms of design tools and everything, the process hasn't changed. So this is, you're still going to be selecting the appropriate nameplate for that inverter within these design tools. Really, it's just linked to one single SKU on the back end for the TPOs and that type of thing. So in terms of designing specifically, things should not be changing.
Michelle, I do want to call out that everything you said is correct, although Aurora has specifically added in the single SKU part number. But from a design perspective, as you've said, nothing else has changed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is a confirmation question. Does each new inverter come with a new RGM production meter to track production for sites without an external production meter?
Yes, this is the same as the inverter before. They all come with integrated RGMs.
Yep. Okay, so I do this this question about the classifications and stickers. So I want to reiterate that all of the nameplate ratings that from SolarEdge 3.8, 2.11.4 are all staying the same. You're going to get a pile is kind of a funny word, but you're going to get a stack of stickers in the box that includes all of these models that from SolarEdge, plus the ones that are legacy inverters for the RMA channel. So it's the 5K, the 6K, those ones that we're not carrying anymore, but you still need for RMA purposes. Those are going to be in there as well. But just be assured that the ones, 3.8, 5.7, 7.6, 9.6, 10, 11.4, they're all in there with those stickers. Okay, it feels like we got most of them. Some of them are repeating. I am also going to make sure, because we have so many questions in here, if your question wasn't answered, we'll absolutely sift through them and follow up with you one-on-one after this. I'm going to do one more skim here and make sure that we got most of these. Okay, I think that these are all good. Okay, so we will follow up with you if yeah, so this question about the SFM14 being sent on RMA. So this is available again through distribution, about $60 for those RMAs that need the SFM14. So you're able to get those through distribution. Okay, I do want to answer this one. So Alex, if you have this answer. So what about a RMA inverter with LG batteries? What does an installer do in that case?
Great question. So when we actually do RMAs, we actually look for sites that actually have LG batteries. And for those sites, you will not be getting a single SKU inverter. You will continue getting the inverter that does support the LG batteries, because the current inverter does not support LG.
Great. So when that RMA is submitted through the portal, that's kind of checked on our end for if it has LG batteries or not. Okay, I think we got everybody. Thank you so much for the questions and for the attention here today. I am going to post this recording on YouTube, and I'll send an email right after this with the recording, that resource page that you need, and then we will sift through these questions and see if there's anything we missed and reach out to you. Again, thank you so much. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, everyone.